Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Tajweed for Beginners. Lesson 4 Rules of Allah, Ra, Noon, and Meem Sakin. Inshallah, this is the final lesson for this series, and we'll be covering the remainder of the necessary rules to read the Quran properly. The first rule we're going to cover is the rule of Allah. If before the word Allah there is a fatha or a dhamma, then you read Allah full mouth or heavy. If before the word Allah there is a kasra, then you read the word Allah empty mouth or light. So examples of this, of the first one is khalaq, kha, qaf, khalaqa, okay, khalaqallahu, who. So to figure out if Allah is heavy or light, we look at the first lam here. This lam is empty because this shadda and standing fatha is actually for the second lam. So this lam is empty. And so what we do is we go back a letter. Now this alif is also empty, so we go back another letter. The qaf has something on top, and we know if it's fatha or dhamma, which are both on top, then Allah is full mouth or heavy. So it's pronounced khalaqallahu. If someone said khalaqallahu, then that would be incorrect. Now the example for the second one is okay. Again, we look at this lam, it's empty, so we look at the alif. The alif is also empty, so we go back one more letter. The ba has something on the bottom, and we know kasra is read empty mouth or light. So billahi. If someone said billahi, that would be incorrect. Now the rule of Ra is similar to the rules of Allah, in that if the rule of Ra, if the letter Ra has a fatha or a dhamma, it is read heavy. Example, yafrahuna. And if someone said yafrahuna, that would be incorrect because the Ra is heavy because of the fatha. If the Ra has a kasra, it is read light, like an-nari. If someone said an-nari, okay, that would be incorrect because the Ra is read light. Likewise, as in the word Allah, if the Ra is sakin, then you look at the letter before it, and if that letter is also sakin, then you go back even one more letter. The rules of Meem and Noon shadda. If Meem or Noon has a shadda, read it with ghunna. So basically here we have Noon and Meem, and they have the shadda is a W. So if you have that, then you read the ghunna. Ghunna is to read something nasally, and you hold the ghunna for 2 harakas. If you don't remember what haraka is, refer to the first video on the Tajweed for Beginner series. So right here, inni, we're holding the noon for 2 harakas. That is ghunna. Moving on, Meem sakin. Now the first rule is called Idgham. Idgham basically means to put one letter into another. So if you have a Meem sakin followed by another Meem, you put the first Meem into the second Meem. So if we had okay, Hamza followed by Meem sakin followed by Meem, we put this Meem into that and we read with ghunna. Right, the first one is with ghunna. Amma. Again, we hold it for 2 harakas. The next one is called Ikhfa. The difference between the Ikhfa and the ghunna is that in the Ikhfa, the tip of the tongue does not touch the top of the mouth. And also in this particular Ikhfa, the lips are brought very close, but they don't touch. They leave a slight little gap and the ulama of Tajweed say it's as if you're holding a seed between your lips. So it would be ba, ba. Okay, so that's the difference between the idgham and the ikhfa of Meem sakin. Moving on. Now the rules of Noon sakin and Tanween, there are 4. The first is Izhar. If after Noon, okay, now we should know what Noon sakin is. It's basically just a Noon with a sakin. And Tanween is any vowel that's doubled. So doubled fatha, doubled kasra, and doubled dhamma. Okay, that's Tanween. If Noon sakin or Tanween is followed by any of these 6 letters, Hamza ha, Ain ha, Ain ha, Ghain kha, read normally without ghunna. The purpose of this rule is to memorize these 6 letters, and you might remember them from the makhraj video. Example is An'amta. Now, the first thing we look for is Noon sakin or Tanween. If we don't have Noon sakin or Tanween, there's no way that this rule can apply. So looking at this word, we see we have Noon sakin here. And then immediately after that there's a Ain. So we know that Izhar applies because Ain is one of the letters here. Okay? No gunna. An'amta. If someone said An'amta, that would be incorrect. The next is the rules of Noon sakin and Tanween, Idgham. Again, we remember Idgham is to put one letter into another. If Noon sakin or Tanween is followed by any of the letters Ya, Ra, Meem, Lam, Waw, Noon, you can memorize the word Yarmalun to memorize all the letters easily. Then Idgham takes place, which is putting one letter into another. Now there's 2 types of Idgham. There's Idgham with Ghunna and Idgham without Ghunna. So if we take now the letters without Ghunna are the Lam and the Ra. Okay? So Lam and the Ra, okay, are no ghunna. No ghunna. So let's look at the example. We have Noon sakin, right? Because remember, the first thing you look for is Noon sakin or Tanween. If you don't have these, then there's no idgham. So we have Noon sakin followed by Ya. Is Ya one of the letters in Yarmalun? Yes, it's the first one. And is it idgham with ghunna or without ghunna? It's with ghunna, because the only ones without ghunna are Ra and Lam. So we would say Man yufsidu. So basically we're putting the Noon into the Ya, it's disappearing, and we're doing it with ghunna for 2 harakas. Man yufsidu. Man yufsidu. Okay. Now an example where Ra or Lam takes place without ghunna would be okay. Noon sakin followed by Ra. Marra'a. Marra'a. We're putting the Noon into the Ra. It's disappearing. Marra'a. But there is no ghunna. Okay. Noon sakin and Tanween. The third rule is Iqlab. If after Noon sakin or Tanween there is a Ba, change the Noon sakin or Tanween into a Meem and read with ghunna. Now it might sound a little bit complicated, but inshallah it's very easy. So again, the first thing we look for is Noon sakin or Tanween. In this example, we have a Noon sakin. The Noon sakin will change into a Meem, and you read it with ghunna if followed by Ba. So Noon sakin becomes a Meem. And in the Quran, actually, some places you can see a small little Meem, right, that's written on top, and that's this rule. Okay, so instead of the Noon, we actually read it as Meem sakin. Meem ba'di. Now we know the rule, Meem sakin followed by Ba. In the rules of Meem sakin, if you go back earlier in the video, okay, it's the one where the seed, you bring your lips close, they don't touch. Meem ba'di. Meem ba'di. That's this rule. Okay, moving on. Noon sakin and Tanween Ikhfa, the final rule. Okay. Now, if after Noon Sakin or Tanween you have any letter besides the ones we've already covered, which are the letters of Izhar, Hamza Ha, Ain Ha, Ghain Kha, the letters of Idgham, Yarmalun, Ba, right? Then read with Ikhfa. Okay? If there's a letter after Noon Sakin or Tanween that's not in one of the letters that we've already covered, then that letter is a letter of Ikhfa. And remember, Ikhfa is where the tip of the tongue does not touch the top of the mouth. Okay, so looking here, Noon Sakin followed by Kaf. Is Kaf in the letters of Izhar, Hamza Ha, Ain Ha, Ghain Kha? No, it's not. Is Kaf in the letters of Idgham, Yarmalun? No. Is Kaf in the letter Ba? Nope. So we read with Ikhfa. In kuntum. Here we actually have two. Noon Sakin followed by Ta, because Ta is not in the letters of Izhar, it's not in the letters of Idgham, and it's not Ba. So we also read that with Ikhfa. In kuntum. And the Ikhfa is also held for two harakas. Now the final rule of this lesson, Qalqalah. When you see any of the 5 letters, Qaf, Ta, Ba, Jim, Dal, okay, and they have sakin on it, then you bounce the letter. Okay, and you can memorize the word Qutubu Jaddin to memorize all the letters together easily. Qutubu Jaddin. Qaf, Ta, Ba, Jim, Dal. The example is Ba. Ba has sakin, right? The condition is that it should be sakin. So we say Subhanaka, and not Subhanaka. We say Subhanaka. We bounce on the Ba. And that concludes the theoretical part of this lesson. Inshallah, now we'll practice in the Quran. Okay. So this is starting from 38 of Al-Baqarah. Verse 38 of Al-Baqarah. So whenever we come to a rule that we've covered, inshallah, I'll point it out. قُلْنَا اهْبِطُوا مِنْ. So basically, anytime there's a noon sakin. Okay, let me write this out. Anytime there's a noon sakin. Okay. Anytime there's a Meem sakin. Anytime there's a Ra. Anytime there's the word Allah. Okay. Anytime there's Ra, Allah, Meem sakin, Noon or Meem with a Shadda, the W, then inshallah it will be one of the rules that we've covered. So and if there's Tanween, right? Because Noon sakin and Tanween, double kasra and double dhamma. So قُلْنَا اهْبِطُوا مِنْهَا. Here we have Noon sakin followed by Ha. Which rule is that? Now again, Noon sakin or Tanween followed by Ha. And you should remember it's the first rule, Izhar, which means no ghunna. Because Noon sakin followed by Ha, Hamza, Ha, Ain, Ha, Ghain, Kha, right, results in no ghunna. So minha, not minha, jami'a. Okay, jami'a. Now, if we stop here, there's no rule. But if we connect, then there is a rule, because there's tanween followed by fa. The alif here we ignore. Anytime you have a tanween, anytime you have a double fatha, you always have an alif. It's just part of the script, but you should ignore it. Look at the next letter, fa. Now tanween followed by fa. What rule is that? Is it from the letters of Izhar, Hamza, Ha, Ain, Ha, Ghain, Kha? No, there's no fa there. Is it from the letters of Idgham, Yarmalun? No, there's no fa there. Is it from Ba? Nope. Fa is not Ba. So we know it's Ikhfa. Okay, so جميعا فإما. Okay, جميعا فإما. Again, another rule, Meem with a Shadda. So we know we do Ghunna for 2 harakas. فإما يأتينكم again noon has a shadda, we do ghunna. يأتينكم. Okay, Meem sakin followed by Meem. We know we put this Meem into that Meem, we do ghunna. And the Meem already has a shadda to tell us that we have to do ghunna here. يأتينكم من, noon has a shadda, مني هدى. Hudan, tanween followed by fa. The ya is empty, so we ignore it. Tanween followed by fa, so we already covered it. Hudan faman, noon sakin followed by ta, it's also ikhfa. Faman tabi'a hudaya fala khawfun, tanween followed by ayn. Okay, tanween is one of the things you have to be cautious of. So what rule is that? Tanween followed by ayn. Hamza ha, ayn ha, ghayn kha. We know it's Izhar, so no ghunna. فلا خوف عليهم. Now we have Meem sakin followed by wow. We only covered Meem sakin followed by Meem and Meem sakin followed by ba, so you can ignore Meem sakin followed by any other letter. عليهم ولا هم يحزنون والذين كفروا وكذبوا بآياتنا أولئك أصحاب, again نون ولا شدة, أصحاب النار. Okay, now if we stop here, the ra loses its kasra, so it becomes sakin. Okay, so that's why the ra will actually be pronounced heavy instead of light, because if the ra has a sakin, then we look at the alif. The alif is empty also, so we look at the noon has something on top, hence the ra is heavy. But if we were to continue, then the ra would be light. أصحاب النار هم فيها خالدون. يا بني إسرائيل اذكروا نعمتي التي أنعمت. Noon sakin followed by ayn. We know from, actually it was one of our examples, that it's Izhar. أنعمت عليكم وأوفوا بعهدي. When you stretch it 4 or 5 because of Hamza, بعهدي أوفي بعهدكم وإياي فارهبون. Now one thing my teacher did for me which helped a lot is that, first of all, don't use a Tajweed Quran. Okay, that's like training wheels, so do your best to use a non-Tajweed color-coded Quran. Don't use one. Okay, and you need to get rid of the training wheels. So my teacher made me create my own symbols, okay, and to mark up the page before I recited to him with the Tajweed rules. So for example, Ikhfa, or sorry, Izhar would be an X. Okay, Izhar would be an X, and Idgham would be a circle, or ghunna. Meem and nun shadda would also be a circle. Iqlab would actually be a square, and Ikhfa would also be a square, and Qalqalah would be a carrot. And I would go through and mark up the page, and it forced me to continually go back to the rule, look at the letter, and come back, and it's really helpful. And actually for the mad, what you can do is for the mad tabi'i, just draw a small little 2 on top, and for the other ones you can draw either a 4 if it's a 4 to 5, or a 6 if it's a mad lazim. Okay, try to do that, and then listen to a sheikh online like Sheikh Husari and see if you get it right. If he does ghunna and you missed a place, then you can go back to the video and see why you might have missed that. Okay, continuing from here. وَآمِنُوا بِمَا Noon sakin followed by zay. Zay is not in any of the letters in the first 3 rules, so we know it's Ikhfa. أنزلت مصدق now tanween followed by lam. Now lam is one of the letters of yarmalun, which is idgham, which means you put one letter into the other, and but there's no gunna, because remember lam and ra, there is no gunna. So we say musaddiqal, we don't say musaddiqal. مصدقا لما معكم ولا تكونوا أول كافر به. Tanween followed by ba. See, look, they changed the tanween into a meem, and you read it with Ikhfa. كافر به ولا تشتروا بآياتي ثمنا قليلا. Okay, again, إخفى. ثمنا قليلا وإياي فاتقون. Inshallah, that will conclude this lesson. Jazakallah khair for watching. Assalamu alaikum.